have, it will either be Song of Solomon or Song of Songs. Directly after Ecclesiastes, right before Isaiah. We will be traveling to chapter 4, right, beginning at the first verse. Right. Chapter beginning at the first verse, and I'll be reading out of the Amplified. It says, "How fair you are, my love, how very fair your eyes behind your veil, but those of a dove, your hair makes me think of the black wavy fleece of a flock of goats, which one sees trailing down Mount Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn sheep, which have come from the washing, of which all are in pairs, and none is missing among them. Your lips are like a thread of scarlet. Your mouth is lovely. Your cheeks are like halves of pomegranate behind your veil. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built for an arsenal, whereon hang 1,000 bucklers, all of them shields of warriors. Your two breasts are like two fawns, like twins of a gazelle that feed among the lilies. Until the day breaks and the shadows flee, I will get to the mountain of myrrh and hill of frankincense. Oh, my love, how beautiful you are. There is no flaw in you." If we were going to use for a thought today, it would be that of finding inspiration. Finding inspiration. Now, this particular book in the Bible is one that has been of a great debate to biblical scholars throughout the years. But one widely agreed upon idea is that this whole book is a precursor to modern day poetry. Right. And in chapter 4, in the verses we've read, we will find that the author has found his inspiration in the form of a young woman. That's right. Now, inspiration is defined as the stimulation within the mind of an idea, feeling, or impulse which leads to a creative action. Mm-hmm. The author of the text, he felt so inspired by what he had seen that he began to become elaborately creative in his descriptions of what he was looking at. All right. He was even so inspired that he made notice that this young lady had all of her teeth and that none of them were missing. All right. All right. Now, inspiration is important because it causes action to take place. Uh-huh. It's like the striking of a match, the flipping on of a light switch. All right. But see, in our spiritual lives, some of us have lost our fires. All right. Some of us have grown dim. Some of us have left the light switch flipped in the opposite direction. All right. You see, we've become a society of uninspired Christians. Yeah. You see, we fooled ourselves into thinking that we've made it and we'll put our feet on, take our feet off the accelerator and just be content to coast. All right. You see, we've gone from praise is what I do to lazy is who I am. You see, we've gone from 99 and a half won't do to 2 dimes and a nickel is enough. You see, we lost our inspiration. You see, music in itself is a very good mirror as to the change that has taken place in inspiration. Yeah. You see, it used to be a time that I could turn the radio on and I might hear somebody say, "If this world were mine, I would place at your feet all that I own. You've been so good to me." You see, that's a little bit of inspiration. You see, I might have been able to flip the station and I might have heard somebody ask the question, "What's going on?" You see, that is a little bit of inspiration. But you see, nowadays, when I turn on the radio, the only thing that I can really figure out now is how to get wasted. I can figure out where to go find the lollipop. I can figure out where to go find the rude boys. You know, the inspiration has been lost. And just like in popular music, you see, it's become more about the formula to make the money and to sell the records than it is about the message that's being sent out. Now, in our spiritual lives, we have fallen victim to the same principle. You see, rather than being inspired by our relationship with God, it has become more about operating within the confines of a religion. You see, this don't apply to me because I'm Baptist. I can't be inspired by this because I'm Church of Christ. I can't listen to this because I'm apostolic. You see, rather than being inspired by the blood of Jesus Christ, we have become inspired by the laws of the religion. You see, and whether we choose to believe it or not, religion is like a disease. You see, we'll infect our lives with rituals and regulations, and it will eventually turn us into mindless drones. You see, exactly. We become like a bunch of zombies. And the thing that we need to realize about zombies is that they're completely devoid of life. They're former shells of what they once used to be. And see, this is what's happened in the world today. God's people have become so uninspired that we're walking around like a bunch of diseased zombies. You see, and even in the movies, people tend to avoid zombies. And that's the same thing that's happening with us in the world. The world sees us. They see no fire. They see no glow. And they avoid us at all costs. You see, Matthew chapter 5 verse 16 says this: let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You see, we've got to find our inspiration. We've got to rediscover that fire, because the very world that needs our light is still walking in darkness because we won't quit walking around with our own eyes closed. You see, when Pastor greets us in the morning, the one thing that I can always remember him asking us is to tell me something good. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but God has been too good to me for me to respond with negativity. You see, no matter what I went through that week, no matter regardless of what I feel, the one thing that remains constant is that through it all, God remained with me. Through every test, through every trial, God was right there with me through it all. That's why I can say I bless the name of the Lord. That's why I can glorify my Father. We need to find our inspiration. It's absolutely imperative for us to find the inspiration. You see, a lack thereof has affected the way that we pray. It's affected how we believe. It's affected the way that we work in the church, and it's even crept in and affected the way that we remember. You see, God can't use us if we don't have any life. We need to be who He's calling us to be. We need to be an inspired people. Now, one of the easiest places for us to become apathetic and uninspired is in prayer. Now, we all know that prayer is our means of communication with God. Now, inspired communication is essential to the success of any relationship. Now, inspired communication meaning that there has to be actual effort put forth in the things that we say. Relationships can be crushed through lack of effective communication. If we just go on through life on autopilot with a bunch of yes and head nods and we're essentially killing the relationships that we're trying to build. And that does not just apply to marriage. It applies to parent-child relationships. Any relationship that we would try to build can be destroyed by a